Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Wow, you guys are really quiet. Um,
Ooh.
okay, okay, Sebs I can hear. Sal is incredibly quiet.
Yeah, I'm having like mic issues. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Okay, I didn't know if it was on my end or on your end.
Yeah, like I'm having a suppression issue. I don't know my gates and stuff. They're all messed up.
Okay, got you. I will see if I can fix it on my end. I'll turn Sebs down and I'll turn my volume super high up. Well, I've got the volume about as high as I can put it, I think. Let me see here. Output volume. There we go. Crank that shit up all the way to 200. Say something really quick.
Hello.
Significantly better. All right, cool. How's it going?
Good. So I want to take this time, this beginning time to uh say thanks to our sponsor. Our sponsor for today is Sonsol's Shadow Raid Legends. Now I
Yeah,
can.
thank you. I appreciate that. Alrighty.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, okay. So, here we go. What's up, buddy? How's it going? You talk a big talk online.
Yeah, I like to talk big talk, walk a big walk, playing a little bit of Half-Life 1. Just
Well, I don't
wondering.
believe that you also walk a big walk, but you do talk a big talk. So
Okay.
actually that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Is white chauvinism.
White chauvinism.
White chauvinism. Yeah, Western white chauvinism.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you know what that is?
I have a pretty good idea about what it is. Basically, white people saying what's best for the rest of the world, and that's, like the whole hegemony of the Western European style of economics and government.
Well, for this example, I am referring to the fact that a lot of white men, just men in general, but white men especially, just think that they are right about like literally everything. Um, do you find that you feel like you're right all the time?
I think that I try to be as correct as possible by.
Yeah, everything that you say. What an interesting thing to say too. Like,
Wait, I'm sorry.
so you change.
Is there any? I'm so sorry. Wait, really quick. I'm so sorry. Is there any way that you can turn your volume up on your mic at all? Like, I have you cranked up as high on everything as I can. And I can barely hear you.
Damn, and I want you to hear this. So hold on.
Yeah,
let me
no, I'm
figure it
sure
out.
I want to hear it too. Um, do you do you want to take like 30 minutes and then troubleshoot this and then try again?
Good. I mean, let's just get this over with. Let's just get over with what we're gonna do, okay? Like the whole point is that you just say stuff, bud. You
Mm-hmm.
just say stuff without knowing.
What don't I know?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell, like, because
You're the
like,
one that wanted to talk about this, right? What?
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
wanna
what
talk
don't I
about, like,
know?
the fact that you think that, like, why do you feel like it's okay for you to, like, say that you're on the left and then use, like, ableist language and classist language? Like, what kind of left are you trying to portray? Like, dirtbag left?
I don't know what dirtbag left is supposed to like. I know that some people call themselves dirtbag left. I don't think that I'm nearly as edgy or as
Right.
I don't know.
In my view, the dirtbag left are like the people who still do things that upset other leftists, but are not willing to change their behavior. So they just, call themselves the dirtbag left, because they'll say all the nasty things that leftists who care about other people wouldn't say.
So can I
Right.
ask you really quick, what do you think that because something upsets someone, you automatically have to change it?
I mean, depending on what it is, like, for
Of
sure,
course, it
yeah.
depends, right? And so the
Another
next
thing
step
is,
that
I
I
want
would
to
ask,
say
wait,
that,
really
like,
quick,
your
really quick.
behavior is very similar
Huh?
to infrared, you know? So, like, I'm just wondering, like,
Yeah?
you guys ideologically, apparently, like, I don't know what you are ideologically. You say you're a socialist, but you're clearly not a socialist, because there is no such thing as anti-revolutionary socialists, you know?
Uh, who says that I'm inherently anti-revolutionary?
Well, you do.
You literally said it.
You say that all the time.
What do
can
I
pull
say
up a
all the
video.
time?
You want me to pull up a video?
Can you repeat it? Maybe I misheard you, but you said that I am just like anti-revolutionary, like inherently?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you are anti-revolutionary. Yes.
Do you want me to like explain in more detail the take that I have on revolution?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love that.
Sure. So, my opinion is, right, if there's going to be some kind of revolution, right, especially in the world that we live in right now, in the country that I live in right now, it's probably not going to succeed, right? In the event that it does, right? If it does
Weird
succeed,
outlook.
do you think?
Sorry, continue.
Okay,
I'll let you
well,
finish. I'm
well,
sorry.
yeah. Okay, so if it does succeed, right, I don't think that the amount of power that the left has in the United States right now is going to be able to maintain power over things that are like other movements that are much more, strong in the US. Things like, I mean, even I think the QAnon movement is larger than any socialist movement going on in the United States. There's something like 15 to
The lack
20%.
of socialist movement, though.
I'm sorry. So
How do we do it?
I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard to hear you. You said, how do we make a socialist revolution?
How do we fix a lack of socialists?
Okay, well,
Like,
we can
what
get
is
onto
there
that in
to
a
do?
second. Yeah, no, I agree. That's a important thing to cover, but just in like the context of my opinions on social or like some kind of revolution. So if there was some kind of revolution, right, and it succeeded, and then we lost out
Okay,
because
so,
it would
like, I
happen.
just
Wait, really
wanna
quick, really
stop you
quick.
right there,
No, I'm
dog.
almost
I
done.
wanna
I'm
stop
almost
you
done. I
right there.
swear I'm almost done. It's almost done,
goddamn.
right?
Sure.
So if we had some kind of revolution and it succeeded and then we lost out to like some kind of fascist organization that like rose up against the communists, I wouldn't be the person that paid the price for that because I'm white and I'm a dude. So the kinds of things that would happen under a fascist like counter revolution would be way more damaging for everyone around me than to me. So I don't think that it's my place to start calling for a revolution that would not affect me as negatively as everyone around me.
Understand where you're coming from, because it is like a very white thing to say. Okay, so the job of a socialist is to make more socialists, right? So you, like, obviously you can't do a revolution right now, and there is not going to be a place where a socialist would be waiting around for revolution. A socialist would be building up these things, trying to create more socialists, while also, like, preparing for what's going to happen, right? Like, I mean, there is no when revolution happens, there is fighting for, like, this, like, we're gonna have to do something. Yeah. So I just feel like, damn, like,
Thinking that the only place that a revolution is going to happen is in the US is very U.S. exceptionalist, like
Well, he
you
said
have
it's
no
not.
understanding of like.
Well, Sebs,
Yeah,
again,
but
I did
still,
say
you
very
know.
specifically my country, right? I don't know
Yeah,
about
that's
the.
why the fact that you don't even think about the rest of the world and how we live in an imperialist world that is within a capitalist hegemony, like
I
shows the
will
lack
support.
of awareness of how
I have.
the world
Yeah.
politics actually works.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know why we're talking about this one. I'm talking specifically about in the US, right? If we want to talk about outside of the US, then we can talk specifically about, specific countries, right? If there was like,
That's
for
the
instance,
thing.
wait, really
It
quick,
shows
really
that
quick.
you are not
Wait,
a
Sebs,
socialist when you
Sebs.
only think about your country.
We can only talk about one thing at a time. And I'm
There's
willing to
many
talk about that.
reasons why he's not a
I can-
socialist, but like, yeah.
I can absolutely
Another one
address
is, like, socialists don't wait for.
Hold on, really quick. I want to
revolution
address what
to,
Seb said, right?
like,
So
happen, and
Sebs,
it's something.
wait, did I get
revolution is something
muted?
You work towards.
I'm sorry, did I get muted or?
You're not
No.
muted. I'm talking over you.
Okay, yeah. So just to address what Seb said, right? Because I can actually hear him. The idea that we can fully transplant what I'm saying about the U.S. right here into some other country is ludicrous, right? I would have to look at the specific. Hold on, I could look at that specific country and look at the conditions in that country and make some kind of prescription based off of that country, right? And there are some countries that have done socialist revolutions and had successful socialist revolutions, and that's great, right? But right now I'm talking about the US because I thought that's what we were talking about. If you want to talk about worldwide socialism or communism, that's totally fine. We can do that. But right now I thought we were talking about the US.
Communism.
Which do we want to talk about?
You cannot have communism in just one place. Communism
I
is
agree.
worldwide.
Yeah, that's literally like a thing.
That's literally a thing. I agree, Seb. So, Sal, what were you trying to say?
Because I was gonna freaking tell you, but like, okay, so like my main problem is that you're so wishy-washy. I was just on your stream earlier, and what you were saying was like, oh well, I have these thoughts, but I can be convinced. Like, okay, I like people who have an open mind, right? That's cool. But like,
Are you talking about in regards
like,
to the Marx thing about him being a philosopher versus an economist?
which he is an economist and a philosopher.
Right, but which one first? I would say he's like an economist first.
I mean, it doesn't fucking matter.
That's what the
he
conversation was
wouldn't
about.
measure them. Like, I think that's the dumb conversation.
Well, someone said something dumb in chat, and that's why I was saying that. I was correcting them.
Your response to it, like, come on, dude. I just feel like.
Well, what's
please don't
incorrect
call
about my
yourself a
response?
socialist if you're not like a down ass baddie, okay? Like you said the most reactionary fucking thing the other day. Hold on, where the fuck is it? You said, I really like socialism, but when the socialists are mean to me, it makes me want to go right winger. And that.
Whoa, hold on. Read the tweet, my friend. My friend, did I say that I want to go right wing? That's an incredibly crazy. That's a wild, my friend. That is a wild accusation. Where did I say I want to go right wing?
Ideologically, I'm very far left. But the left pushes me the fuck towards the center because they can't engage in the real world. And then I engage with conservatives, and I want to start raising a hammer and say, okay, so you're just a radical centrist, is what you said. Okay,
I'm sorry. Is that what that tweet says? For me to
literally looking at it right now.
It says that I am a radical centrist. Is that the best way to interpret that?
Yes, it says you're a reactionary without any principles, and you are swayed by the fact that people are mean.
Unfortunately, I think that I have.
You don't have any principles. It's just like my whole beef, baby.
I don't think that you know what principles are if you can't look at the way that I engage on this platform and the way that I engage on Twitter. I am pretty consistent in what my beliefs are, right?
Consistent for sure, but like
and very consistent in socialist ideas, right? I think that if I want to create some kind of socialist movement in the United States, right? Because I don't have the ability to create a socialist revolution in like Nicaragua. I don't have the ability to create a socialist revolution in Argentina, right?
Right now, okay, you're doing like third worldism. That's not your job. Your job
I'm saying
in the
that
belly
I don't have the ability.
More socialists.
I agree. Super great. Okay? I agree 100%. But how do you get people to be socialist?
Or do you tell people to like go
educating
out
them
community and like try to build these connections with like their real community? Like, what do you tell people to do? What's your call to action?
I don't think that those things are mutually exclusive at all.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you think that socialists engage in bourgeois elections?
I think that socialists use electoralism as a holding action against other, like, more pernicious movements, like fascist movements. Meanwhile, they build up power in their communities and in their, like, local cities, towns, you know, whatever, right? Their friend groups, probably at this point, because we don't have enough power to have, like, local power right now.
Right now, I'm going to stop you right there, dog. Engaging in bourgeois elections is futile and a waste of time. It is a waste of time.
So we should just allow, you know,
to do that.
I'm sorry.
What?
Wait, hold on really quick. Sal, you asked me a question. Am I not allowed to answer the question?
One is less like loud for sure. Here, you can go.
Okay, yeah. So I don't understand why these things are mutually exclusive whatsoever. It takes like 10 minutes. Wait, hold on. Come on. So you said that, you know, why would you use a bourgeois electoralism? It takes like 10 minutes to vote, and then you actually go out and do politics. There's a Noam Chomsky
It doesn't
quote.
take 10 minutes in the US to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hear something? I thought it was my turn to talk. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time to. I don't know about you, buddy. Like I've gone and voted. It doesn't take all that long. Maybe next time, during the midterms, I'll bring a fucking stopwatch in there with me. All right, friend. So the idea that it's this like horrible thing to engage in electoralism to reduce the amount of harm to marginalized communities. Meanwhile,
telling people to do that is pointless. It's not really helping those people out, though. Like, what material change is it bringing to them?
I'm sorry, can you say it again? What material change is it bringing to them?
Material change happens when you vote. Because I voted for Howie Hawkins, and guess that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you waste your vote on some like stupid third party in the United States, it's probably not going to get you much material change, right?
Right. So then don't like tell people as a socialist that is what they should be doing. That's my beef, like.
Well, it's a little bit deeper than go vote for a third party that's not going to win.
You have people in your fucking community like internet gas, what's it called? Nazbol platform, like.
I'm pretty sure that one's ironic, but
you're trying to build either. Like,
so are you wait, hold on, really quick. Are you going to completely pivot off of the idea that life was better under Trump than under like Obama or under Biden? Like you think that these
good under any of these presidents?
Wait, hold on. That's not what I said, Sal. I didn't say that it was good under. No, it wasn't a question. It was a statement of fact, right? Under Trump, life was a little bit harder, and now it's probably a little bit easier to go out and instead of like actively trying to
Also.
Yeah, I don't know what the.
Well, if you actually let me speak, then I can tell you, right? Instead of having to actively worry about like ICE going into cities and going around and rounding up immigrants like I had going on here in Houston, right? Where they had just like teams come in, going into businesses and finding illegal immigrants, right? Now we have to worry less about that, and we can actually engage in other kinds of activism. What did you say
about illegal immigrants? Hold the fuck on. What? Go ahead again.
Under Trump, there were different periods of time when ICE would go into cities and basically go on like immigrant hunts, go into apartment complexes.
So you think that has changed?
I think that sort of action is less common if it is happening under Biden. And because of that, hold on, Sal.
Cite some sources, buddy, because you can't just say
why is the burden of proof on me to say that ICE is no longer going around and actively like hunting immigrants?
I mean, you brought it up.
True. Like, I'm not trying to say that ICE is doing anything. You're saying that ICE is doing something.
ICE has been moved into different courses of action. I'm not saying that hold on, Sal, my friend.
Or are they like at their homes now?
The kids at the border?
Are they there still?
There are probably still some kids that are in holding.
So then materially, then Biden really didn't fucking help them.
Wait, hold on. You don't know a goddamn thing about what you're talking about. What is the difference between the Trump? Wait, Sal, what is the difference? What is the difference between the Biden administration's policy right now and the Trump administration's policy? Do you know?
Cricket.
Yeah, crickets. I asked you a question. Do you know what the difference between?
And I'm asking you.
Oh, sorry. You're much quieter than me.
Saying all this shit like, oh, it's so good. Biden has done all this stuff. Show me.
Wait. Hold on.
Like
you're saying things that I didn't say. I didn't say that Biden's actions are good. I'm saying they are better than Trump's. I'm
saying how.
I'm saying that under Biden right now, instead of having the family separation policy, which was a massive,
it's still
the family separation policy is not in place right now. Second, right? So he doesn't have the family separation policy in place right now, and the children that are currently in their in the like holding camps and like the kids in cages, right? There are two options that we have for the unaccompanied minors that come across the border, right? It is either allow them to wander in the wilderness and hopefully they make it to wherever they're trying to get to, or they go to the authorities, right? Which is what which is what their parents are telling them to do, right? They go to the authorities, right? They tell them, hey, this is where I'm supposed to go. And then they like go through processing and then get sent to their parents. Does it take a little bit of time? Probably, yeah. But that's just the case when you have scales at the like policies at the scale as what's going on at the border right now, right? I'm not saying that these things are good, and we can always advocate for them to be better. And I think that people should be advocating for them to be better. But I would rather unaccompanied minors be put into cages for a short amount of time rather than, wait, really quick, I'm almost done, last sentence. I would rather kids be put temporarily into cages than wander the desert and fucking die of like heat exhaustion or starvation. So yeah, there is a lesser of two evils on this situation so that children don't die.
Right. And you're making that like, yeah, I just feel like that's
what would you do?
I would fucking not do that. You don't have to pick the lesser of two evils.
Wait, no. What would you do?
Choose the third path, okay?
Sure.
What I would do was I would fucking work in my community to try to build up socialism.
Oh, that's an incredible virtue signal, Sal. But Sal.
That we can fucking do something.
Sure, no, that's an incredible virtue signal. But what I asked you was, what kind of things would you do for those children that are coming across the border right now?
You can do anything either. Vote is not doing anything.
Okay,
wait, hold on. Voting would be voting is basically trying to get the least harmful thing to happen. Meanwhile, you go around and go to your communities and you do the shit that you're doing.
Voting doesn't do anything substantially for anybody. Okay? That's why they let you do it. And sometimes they don't even let you do it. Okay?
Who is they?
Oh, yeah. If you're fucking saying you're a socialist and you are pro-electoralism, get out because they don't know what they're talking about.
Wow. Okay, so again, Sal, I ask you once again, in the situation where you have unaccompanied minors coming across the border, right? And you have to do something so that they don't wander around in the wilderness. What do you do while you find their parents?
Fucking talking about? How about just make it so like everyone can come in with their whole fucking family and it's not some weird ass like separation thing? Like
There's no
why would
separate.
not
Hold on. There's no,
anything
again,
other than
no,
that?
this is,
Like,
you're
it's
not answering my question,
ridiculous.
Sal.
No, I'm not, because your question is ignorant.
Just
And,
because
like,
you
I'm
don't
not
know
gonna
about
play
what the policies,
hypotheticals right
no,
now.
it's not a
I'm telling
hypothetical.
you.
It's not even that much of a hypothetical, because I don't think that under your paradigm, there would be any better course of action that like you could do other than offer the children some kind of like place to stay at while you find their parents or their like uncle or whatever family member that they came over here to stay with. Do you disagree with that?
I just think that that's not something that you like.
Do you know
okay,
why families are sending their children to the US in the first place?
Yes, I know why children are being sent to the U.S. in the first place, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We can
No,
talk
but
about
why?
that.
we can.
Wait,
Like,
no,
let's talk
I
about
still no. I really
Because
want
you're
Sal to
getting
tell.
bogged down
No,
in this
I
whole
want
fucking
you
border
because
issue.
you think that I don't know what I'm talking
No,
about,
we're not.
right? And I'm trying to
just
say
doesn't- like, this doesn't
it
matter.
does
What everyone
matter.
say about
Oh,
this
I'm sorry. Do
issue
children dying of
isn't
heat
going
exhaustion in the
to
desert not
anything.
matter to you, Sal?
There's no material change happening from this conversation.
There's a. Oh, I'm sorry. Why did you want to have the conversation then, Sal?
Because I wanted to tell you, not about the border. I want to talk to you about the fact that you are silly.
Okay, well, tell me why I'm silly, but before you do that, tell me what you would do if there were a bunch of unaccompanied minors coming across the border and you didn't know exactly where their parents at that moment. You're the premier of the United States, Comrade
No,
Sal.
the best course of action is clearly to lock them up, right? We'll just lock them away until we find out who their parents are. Just kind of a juvie situation, right? Is that what's happening to them right now? We'll just put them in a
Well,
few
so
holding cells.
So tell me what you would do again. Like I'm saying that Biden's actions aren't the best course of action, right? I'm asking you what you would do better.
I would
Yes.
try to figure out why the fuck they're coming here, and I would help that.
That's not the answer that I want, Sal, because I agree that there are things.
What you want, buddy?
Right, of course you don't, because you don't actually care about these people that come across the border. But I do, and I do care that we take care of people who come across the
Okay.
border. And if children come across the border and they don't have a place to stay,
You're,
and they're going to be
astroturfing this whole fucking thing right now for some dumb shit.
sea lioning, maybe
Here's what we're
astroturfing,
doing.
no.
You're sea lining, for sure. But
Okay,
here, let's go.
but I just want you to answer one question.
What?
What would you do differently?
Fucking,
But you can't answer that. Either of you.
The root of the problem. If I had any fucking control over it.
Right. No, you can do both of these things at once. You can't, like, if I was to be in charge, right, and I started solving
why
that,
are they
wait, really
coming
quick,
over?
really quick.
No.
I'll
No.
answer that, because I'll answer that in my answer, right? So if I was in charge and I had a bunch of kids coming over because Central America has been fucked by a bunch of U.S. actions, right, from the past, and I mean, still to the current day, I would A, stop doing the actions that are fucking those places over, and B, I would also not allow children to be walking around in the goddamn desert without some kind of.
I want you to know that the people at the border are not immigrants; they are indigenous people, and they are not in any way, shape, or form illegal. Okay, because they fucking live here. Okay.
Do they live here, or are they coming over here to live?
Would you call indigenous people illegal immigrants? Is that what you're doing right now?
What do you mean by indigenous? Are you saying that they're Native Americans that have historical ties here?
Oh my God, you didn't just say this.
Right.
I'm asking you.
Please
I
don't
don't.
talk about things you don't even know. You're bringing up this shit you don't even know. You're trying to
You can't even ask it if you still won't even answer if you would allow children to walk around the desert without any kind of support.
How do you unallow that?
You would allow
How do
that?
you even unallow that?
What?
Like, you say you would prohibit that? How?
It wouldn't be prohibiting. It would be giving shelter to children who do not have shelter, like people who cross the border. Again, I'm not saying that what Biden is doing is the best option, right? Which is why I'm asking Sal what she would do. I know what I would do, right? But it seems like Sal isn't able to make any kind of real prescription about the real world. It seems like Sal is actually more inclined to do virtue signals, talking about indigenous people, rather than saying what kinds of things you would do to help children.
Make something up. This is the whole reason why I'm yelling at you here today, is because you are a fucking chauvinist and you always think you're right about every goddamn thing. And
I don't even know. I don't think that I'm right about. I don't think that I'm right about everything. I just think that you're wrong.
Sondsol.
Just because I don't think that you're right doesn't mean that I think that I'm right all the time. I think that you're wrong all the fucking time.
Really? Okay. Hold on.
There are people that are smarter than me, all right? I admit this, right? You can go to all sorts of universities of people that spend their entire lives studying very, very specific things to very granular levels. You have people that are able to take that information that they research and put it into data sets, and then they can make prescriptions about the world. And then there are people like you that read 200-year-old fucking books and say like, oh, this is exactly how we have to do it right now. Let's immediately start killing all rich people and not helping people like children in the border who are walking around the desert and starving to death. Wow, fucking brave of you, Sal.
What kind of argument was that? What the?
Well, it was a very classist, first of all, argument, and second of all, very like just.
Which part of that was classist?
And ignorant. Saying that people that are more intelligent have to go to college and that have to do research and have to do with data sets and stuff.
This is just anti-intellectualism. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyone can go to college and anyone can like learn how to make data sets. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyone can go to college. Anyone can go to college. Do you know that college debt is a problem? You know that there are hundreds and thousands of people who are not going to college because they are fucking expensive?
Okay. Wait,
like,
I'm sorry.
What?
Really quick. What part of what I just said implies that it's not expensive to go to college?
You just said anyone can go to college.
Anyone can go to college, and it's harder for people that are in poor communities. But, oh, you know what? We shouldn't vote for anyone that would be, advocating to, invest in these communities so that people aren't poor anymore, so that they can actually go around and, graduate high school and then be able to go into a college that's worthwhile. Wait, hold the fuck up. Sal, please, you have to pick up the mic because I can't hear you. Sal, can you please pick up the mic if you're going to talk? I literally can't hear you.
Correct as often
Sure.
as possible. And
Thank you.
If I'm ever incorrect, I need to come out and admit that I was like a tanky that wasn't like super tanky.
Okay.
I was probably pretty close to that until I started streaming, and I feel like if I'm going to be putting my opinion out there and it's recorded, and there are going to be people watching me informing their opinions based off of things that I say,
Yeah.
I need to be correct as often as possible.
So, what's wrong with that statement?
Statement, and that's why we're here.
Because I said that if I want to go around and give out information to people,
with like wanting to be accurate, but like it's just the way you frame it. You're like, I changed my political ideology because I am trying to be correct most of the time. Like,
wait, that's a
like
good
that's so
thing.
fucking
If I
silly.
hold on, no.
It's not a good thing. It shows that you don't have principles. So you're saying
My
that
principle is
were
helping
a
people.
tanky, right? But
No, I never said I was a
that's right, or
tanky.
you
I was
don't feel
closer
like
to
that you
tankies.
can defend yourself accurately. Like, which one is it? Like, because people don't go around and they're like, you know what? I feel like I want to be wrong today. I'm gonna go around and say everything wrong. Like, nobody fucking
Most
says
people that go around and say things that are incorrect don't know that they're
Politically
incorrect.
correct, right, CB?
Most people that go around and say things that are incorrect don't know that they're incorrect, like you, right? For me, when I started saying things that were incorrect and then people provided me with information that was
Go
Hold
ahead.
on, I'm still talking, right? So when we're talking about things that people like sent me things that proved me incorrect about things, right? Yeah, I changed my opinion on that because that means that I was incorrect about something,
so that's
and it's
just
good.
like being a human being, like, right? Like,
Yeah, and you're arguing against that. Holy shit, that's
I'm
crazy.
saying that. I'm saying it's weird to say that.
I was being
It's a weird
interviewed
thing to
about my
say.
political advocacy and what my political journey was. So yeah, I would talk about
What do you
that.
think that you're doing right now that is correct? So you said that you're a
Well, I'm arguing against two very stupid people, so that's something that that's just something that I have a lot of fun doing.
Okay,
It doesn't mean that I'm
do
correct
love
for doing
that
it.
you're so
It's just very
similar to
fun.
Oz, and you're just like Infrared.
Am I?
Yeah.
Tell me how.
At least Infrared knows about socialism.
Okay.
Right. Like,
Whatever.
He's a bigot, but like he's got good politics.
Okay.
You're just a bigot with bad politics.
Okay. What part of what I talk about is bigoted?
You literally just for ableist right now. You are ableist, classist, and racist, and you double down, you triple down on it. Like that's
By calling you stupid?
Expose yourself. Excuse me?
Because I said you're stupid?
I mean, literally, yeah. Like,
Oh,
you
damn.
gotta understand
Also, your
that is,
IQ
like,
take, that's literally racist and ableist.
and classist.
Do you
Yeah.
guys know what the difference
all
between
three.
like
It's a
using an
triple
insult for like a racist end and using an insult or a word in order to just like insult someone, right? So like you can call you can say that here, let's think of an example. So for instance, there are people that used to call black people like, certain animals, right? But you can also talk about those animals in a certain way, or you can call like little kids who are like acting like crazy little like munchkins that are swinging around in the house and
Where
breaking
are
shit,
we
right?
going here?
Like you can talk about those things and it's not racist. You can just like use words. So IQ, making fun of someone's stupid fucking take, does not automatically mean that it's a racist thing.
I mean, literally, you can't separate like words from their like meaning. Like right now, you're trying to say like, oh, I'm allowed to use ad homonyms when I'm upset, and it's not. There's nothing wrong with it because I want to.
It's not an ad hom. It's just an insult. There's a difference.
I'm telling you, you're a dirtbag because of that.
Okay, you can have whatever opinion of me you want.
Okay, well.
Like I don't know exactly. No, I just don't understand because like you're super.
To call you out on all your bullshit online.
You haven't called me out on any real bullshit.
I mean,
it's just all virtue
literally,
signals
you're
about stuff that you don't know about.
Racist and classist all over, and you don't. Even
I don't
care.
think I've ever been
And you
classist
right all the
online.
time when
Let's
you're
be
really
let's
not.
be.
You change your politics because it's too hard for you to fight for them. You don't know how to advocate. You're not doing it, right? If you do know
Even
that,
hold on,
right?
really
It's
quick,
fucking
Sal.
ridiculous.
Even if I were to say, hold on, even if I
just call yourself a centrist or something.
even if I was to like maintain the politics that I held at the beginning of last year, right? I still wouldn't know what I was talking about because I had never read any theory. I hadn't been on any kind of online like socialist like Twitter. I didn't use Twitter at all. I didn't know any. I knew one anarchist in real life, right? So I just used communist and socialist because it was like counter to what everyone else was talking about, right? At that time, I thought that I was like a super communist, right?
Revolutionary language.
At that time, right? I thought that that's what was most aligned with what my belief systems were, but I think it's actually more principled that I'm willing to like use the language that more aligns with my belief system, right?
And what is that?
Probably like a democratic socialist, or I don't really know exactly where it is on the socialist spectrum, but I am a socialist. I know what kinds of things that I advocate for that are socialist.
Not a socialist.
How do you
There's
Okay, so tell me.
great, vastly difference between democratic socialist and socialist.
Okay, so
Like
tell me
the
what
mere
socialist
fact that
things.
you don't know the difference, the huge.
So there's a difference between a social democrat. So
Okay, we're
someone
going
like
to tell you right now. Okay, a social democrat is a person who still likes capitalism. They want to mix them. A dem soc is a person who thinks you will get to socialism through voting, electoralism. It is a
that's
historical.
incorrect.
And a socialist is a person who believes in revolution and into the workers owning the means of production. This is absolutely 1000% correct. You cannot tell me anything else because this is literally what it is.
So you're incorrect. They don't want a democratic socialist doesn't only want to do it simply through electoralism. Now they are incrementalist,
Listen,
right?
tell me how are you going to do this right now, Sandy?
Achieve socialism? Is that what you're asking me? I'm trying to figure out
No,
what you're
go
asking
ahead
me.
and tell me what democratic socialism is, you little chauvinist.
You're a little chauvinist. Okay, so I don't know why you think that they only want to achieve it. I think that you're like almost right. I don't know why you think it's only through the through electoralism though, right? I think that it's totally.
Go to Wikipedia really quick. Go on.
Why is she so
Okay,
rude?
what
Because
do you
she doesn't
think-
have
what do you
enough
think it
IQ
is?
to actually make an argument.
Again,
Dr.
with the
Heems
racist
keeps on
label, it's bullshit.
You do that
really
fucking
quick.
live.
Dr.
He's still
Heems keeps on
live.
messaging me. He wants to hop in here. Do you want to talk to Dr.
Here he
Heems?
goes.
Did you hear me?
What?
Okay,
Yeah,
define the
really quick.
Sodomism or demsochism.
I'm gonna ask one time because Dr. Heems keeps on asking me. Dr. Heems wants to talk. Is it cool
No,
adding him
I
to the
don't want
call?
to talk to Dr. Heem. Dr. Heem, no. This is not about you. Go away. You can watch. No more sockdoms. Or whatever. I don't even know what you are, Sondsol, but you're definitely not a socialist.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Heem asked me, but no, I don't want to cool down. I'm having a great
Oh,
time.
I don't want to cool down. I think that he would come in here super spicy.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, we don't need more fascists here.
I know.
Oh, you think Dr.
We
Heems
already
is a
know.
fascist?
Well, he's
I-
them, and he's okay with
Yeah.
fascism, which makes him is just as good as a fash.
What part of social
Anti-communism is
democracy?
fascism. But
Well-
like people are not ready to have that conversation because they are just too fucking ignorant about how
did you-
imperialism works.
You said anti-fascism is fascism?
No.
Anti-communism is
Oh,
fascism.
sorry. I misheard.
Sorry, he's already been added to the list. Right here. The victims. Remember the victims. Everyone, take a moment of silence. Okay. Well,
So what
I
is
feel pretty
fascism
good
to
about
you?
this, actually, we could actually stop here because I do have a.
Oh, you want to
presentation.
stop here because you haven't been able to actually answer any of the questions that I've had for you? Like
I mean,
you just
your questions are ignorant and like they're pointless.
like what
so,
we should do to help people that are
questions.
wandering around in the desert. That's a bad thing. Why do you hate?
would
Why
try
do you
to
hate
solve-
Central
if I was-
Americans?
If I had,
Why do you
if
hate
I
brown
had all
people,
the
Sal?
power, I would try to help what the root of the problem is.
Without helping the people who are immediately in distress? That's really fucked up. Why would you allow them to starve out in the
Why would I
desert?
ignore them too. Like,
Well, that's why I was asking you, what would you do for those people?
put them in like a home or something. Like,
What if you don't have
I
enough
know.
homes?
Let them in the country.
They're in the
I don't know.
country.
Stop being fucking imperialist.
That's not an answer.
Like, so they don't have to go to the U.S. in the first place.
These things are not mutually exclusive.
17 million
What if you don't?
open homes in this house in this country?
Oh my fucking God.
Okay, so so Sal, yeah, good point. We do have a bunch of open houses in the US. So you find some people out in the desert, they don't have a place to go right this second, right? So do you like just have like a list of homes and immediately put them on a plane and
Here's
ship
what
them
we'll
off to
do.
Seattle?
We'll put 'em
What do
in
you
the
do?
Trump Tower.
Well, that would be a
We'll
funny
empty
answer.
out
I
that
do
whole
agree.
bitch
That is a
and we'll
funny
put the
and good
kids in
and based
there.
answer.
That'll be good. I feel like that's perfect.
That would be a funny answer. But you know what that would be? Just putting people into cold office spaces without any
Literally,
like home
hotels
spaces.
in Trump's tower. Like I just told you, I'm putting them each in top levels of the Trump Tower.
Well, that sounds like a very nice nice response. Thank you for finally answering that question, Sal. So tell me, why is Heme a fascist? What is fascism to you? Because I've watched some of Heme's stuff.
You guys hang out with people called Nazbol?
I mean, I don't hang out. I don't hang out with Nazbol.
Like when I saw the name Nazbol, it's gone instantly. Like I'm like, nope, gone. You're gone.
Yeah, so that's a good answer to the question. What is fascism?
Fascism is a far right, ultra authoritarian. Hold the fuck on.
Oh, got to look up a definition. Don't even know it off the top of your head. Fake socialist.
Fascism is a defense mechanism of capitalism. It's what happens when capitalism and the bourgeoisie see that their power is losing, and that's why they acquire like any sort of anti-communist any sort of anti-communist movement is fascism, because that is how they perpetuate capitalism and the system.
That's an incredible. That's an incredible fucking answer. Because wait, hold on, Sal. I thought that what Sal said. I thought that what Seb said was really interesting. So you think that fascism is simply the opposite of, or like any kind of anti-communist action? But it seems like a lot of like fascist theory and fascist
has always been.
Historically, I don't know, buddy. But what we're talking about right now is what fascism is.
I know.
Well, Sebs.
I literally do this research on my stream.
Oh, I literally do it too, and I don't think you know what fascism is outside of like the virtue signals that you watch on YouTube, right? So like the idea
signals that I watch on YouTube.
Oh, I watch YouTube.
I literally read theory, bro.
I read theory, yeah, and I read theory too, right? So I know what fascism is, right? And it seems like when we're talking about fascism, it actually is, guess what? Something that sprang out of Marxism from people, guess what? That were disaffected from
Nazi talking points. That's literally Nazi talking points.
It's literally what the fascists themselves said.
Oh my god.
They were disaffected socialists who didn't see that the communist revolutionists.
Oh my god.
Oh, is this just Nazi stuff? Anything that you disagree with or don't understand is Nazi
you
shit?
You just literally don't know history, bro.
I just don't know history.
You don't know history.
This is very interesting.
A National Socialist confirmed. We figured it
out.
Oh, that's the kind of socialist that he is. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense.
I like how you guys aren't actually able to define, like you gave two different answers for what fascism is, and then like you won't, like all you can do is just do
fascism is, you would know that there are many definitions of fascism, because historically there have been different manifestations of fascism.
Right, but they all have some things in common, don't they?
It doesn't look the same. Like it manifests differently.
It manifests differently, but there is an underlying philosophy to it that is largely almost identical amongst these
capitalism.
things. Oh, capitalism.
Literally capitalism.
Why did fascism not spring up until like the 1920s then? If capitalism is fascism.
I mean, there's many previous examples of fascism that didn't get labeled because like that word wasn't made up. Like they're just,
the ideology didn't exist.
Wait, but do you realize that they just made up the ideology because they interpreted behavior like that, and they're like, oh, we should probably call that something.
So do you think that ideology, wait, hold on. Do you think that ideology is something that's just like out there in the ether, and then like eventually we find the exact word?
Literally, yeah. Marxism is a fucking interpretation and an analysis of like the material conditions happening at that time. Okay, it was a critique of capitalism.
Okay, did he call it fascism?
It wasn't like something that he was like creating. You know, this was fucking explanation.
He created the method by which he wanted people to like analyze history and material conditions. He created that form of analysis.
observing something and like describing, like teaching.
Wait, I can't hear you. Hello?
Lost it.
Test,
The
Can
guy
you hear
doesn't
me?
understand history, Daniel. Please inform him Marx plagiarized all of his work from indigenous people. Hitler was a fascist, and he took all of his ideas from what colonizers did to indigenous people. Right. So these things have always like been around, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like the indigenous people didn't call themselves like capitalists,
Communists or
communists
whatever.
or anarchists. They just were what they are, you know. They didn't label shit like that. So these things have been here before they have had a label.
Like communism literally existed way before Marx was even born. Just that people didn't call it communism.
Where?
Where?
Fucking told you.
Literally in indigenous cultures in North America, in Africa, like
That was
do you want me
communism,
to-
or was it like, I don't know if we can call that
Do
communism.
you know what communism is?
No.
Do you know what
A
communism is?
stateless, classless society,
Where?
right? Like at a very
Where?
like baseline
There's one big point where you're missing.
where the workers own the means of production. Is that what you're asking me? I can't hear if I'm like missing something.
Collective ownership.
Collective ownership. All right. So you don't think
Yeah.
that there were different like
That's
levels
literally
of
how Nigeria worked before they were invaded by France and the rest of the European countries.
Okay,
Like,
I don't know specifically about Ethiopia. I can speak a little bit more confidently about like Native American communities.
I said Nigeria.
Oh, sorry.
Not Ethiopia, but
I would rather you not speak about like whatever you think that you know about.
I don't know how
You
you can
just
even
show-
assume. I don't know how you can even
No.
assume how something
And
could be
as
communist.
Daddy always told
How
me,
communism
no
happens without
investigation,
capitalism
no
first.
right to speak.
wait, you think communism needs capitalism to happen?
That I mean, that's what Marx said. That communism was something that would
That's
happen after
literally not
capitalism.
what Marx said. Actually, Marx had to write about this shit because they were people who were misinterpreting him, and he had to literally specifically wrote how he didn't mean that. And Lenin had to rewrite that again because even in his time, people were misinterpreting him and Marx. And he
socialism-
had to write again because of that.
Socialism or communism wouldn't spring out of the abundance of capitalism.
Wouldn't.
Would then.
Would that? No.
It would not spring out of the abundance of capitalism. That's what Marx said.
Yeah, would not.
Can you show me where Marx said that the tides of history were such that capitalism had to be completely destroyed and then we could like restart all of society around the idea of communism?
God. You're,
Like I'm trying to understand what the fuck you're talking
they were
about.
talking about based on reality.
Okay.
In their current material reality, there was capitalism. So they said that after capitalism, in that moment, there would emerge communism. But they didn't meant that it was necessary to have communism, capitalism for communism or socialism to happen.
Sorry, someone in my chat saying something funny. I don't know. I think that when we're talking about like Marx and Engels and these socialist thinkers, they were talking about the kinds of things that we could do to make the material conditions of people better. Some people were more revolutionary than others, but by and large,
Okay,
Marx mostly
what
made
does
like
that mean? What does that mean? What is more revolutionary than others? What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
some people were more okay
Ooh.
with which part?
What you're talking about, right? Some people were
You
more
don't know what I'm
revolutionary
talking-
than others.
Sure.
Who was more revolutionary than who? For example.
So, sorry, microphone fell. So, for example, we can look at people like Marx, who was mostly making descriptive claims about the world rather than prescriptive claims, what we ought to do, mostly saying this is what the world is. Do you disagree with that?
Mm-hmm.
You do disagree with that?
No, like, yeah, and
Okay.
what?
And then we have people that came after Marx that were more revolutionary, that thought that violence was absolutely like the one and only way that we could achieve a socialist / communist or whatever state, because a lot of people use these things interchangeably, especially Marx, right? So, when we're talking about like people that are more revolutionary or more amenable to violence, we can look at people like George Sorel, or I mean, fucking Lenin for goddamn sure, right? Who thought that it was time to like overthrow the governments and take control there and then. George Sorel was a polarizing figure for sure, seeing as like him being a Marxist anarchist was like the underlying philosophy that led to fascism. But
actively took part in the revolution in the commune in 1871. Okay, the
who
difference.
did? Sorry, you cut out the beginning.
Karl fucking Marx.
Okay.
So you're saying that he was less revolutionary, but that is incorrect.
Do you know what the internationals are, Sondsol?
What does that have to do with what we're talking about right now?
Do you know what the internationals are?
Can you tell me what that has to do with what we're talking about right now, Sebs? Or do you have to pivot away from something?
If you knew what they were, you would know.
I actually
why
don't
they
feel like I have to
know.
answer every single question that you guys ask me when you guys aren't able to answer the questions that I do.
I keep calling you a chauvinist, and you're like, no, it's okay. I have no problem being wrong. So
Quick,
just say
change the
you don't
history
know.
topic. I don't know
Just
what I'm
say,
talking
"I don't
about. Oh
know."
no. Who is
It's
George
not gonna
Sorel,
help you.
Sal?
Just say it. Just
Who
say
is
you don't
George
know.
Sorel?
I don't know. There's
Oh,
no
you don't
reason
know
I don't know.
a major
Can you say it?
philosophical.
Can you say it?
You don't know
Can you
who
say
was
it?
like the Marxist philosopher
can't say
who
it, you guys.
created
He
the
cannot
like
say
the
it.
baseline philosophy
His
behind
will not
fascism.
form those words. Can you say
How
it?
could you not know him?
Just say you don't know. Can't do it, can you?
What
Will you?
can you
you
say it again? I can't hear a goddamn word you're saying. Pick up the fucking mic.
I have fake.
Hello, can you hear me?
I'm gonna read one thing and then I'm gonna go because like
Yeah, I'm sure.
this is fun, but you know, I have a presentation to do. So I'm gonna read this thing and I just want you to think about it.
Are you going to present this video to whatever you're supposed to present?
I'm gonna do what do you mean? I'm gonna do a presentation right after this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What?
Go. I'm saying you can read whatever your passage that you want to read is.
Okay, thank you. What is now happening to Marxist theory has, in the course of history, happened repeatedly to the theories of revolutionary thinkers and leaders of the oppressed classes fighting for emancipation. During the lifetime of great revolutionaries, the oppressing classes constantly hounded them, received their theories with the most savage malice, the most
Yeah, I don't
furious
disagree with-
hatred,
like,
and the
this is
most
just like a Lenin
unscrupulous
quote.
campaign of lies and slander. After their death, attempts were made to convert them into harmless icons, to canonize them, so to say, and to hallow their names to a certain extent for the consolation of the oppressed class, and with this the object of duping the latter, while at the same time robbing the revolutionary theory of its substance, blunting its revolutionary edge, and vulgarizing it. Today, the bourgeoisie and the opportunists within the labor movement concur in this doctoring of Marxism. They omit, obscure, or distort this revolutionary side of this theory. It's revolution.
This is incredibly fucking boring. Why is she just gonna read the whole fucking paragraph to me?
All the social chauvinists are now Marxists. Don't
Okay.
laugh. and more frequently, German bourgeois scholars. Only
She's still
yesterday,
going. Oh my
in the
fucking
annihilation of
god.
Marxism are speaking of the
Here.
national German.
Hang up? No, I'm gonna let them hang up. I want to see if I can keep talking to Sebzdev. She's still going.
Into socialism. There is no such thing as a non-revolutionary socialist. Thank you.
Once again, you do not understand what the difference between like completely against revolution and against revolution right now is. I'm glad that we had this conversation where you further cemented in my mind that you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about or who I am. Gone. Bye, guys. Oh, fucking shit, dude. Oh, my God. I knew they were going to be pieces of shit from the start. I knew. Oh my fucking god. What fucking losers. Every single time I would ask them a question, they had to immediately retreat to something like talking about some kind of fucking like indigenous group. It's like, okay, that's nice. What the fuck does that have to do with what we're talking about right now? Holy fucking shit. What a fucking meme. I thought that was going to be way worse than it was. Holy shit. Started a call?
Yo,
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
good. That is lit.
Oh my fucking god. What fucking losers. Holy fucking shit. Reading me an entire fucking chapter out of fucking State and Revolution as the end cap of that conversation. One second.
I'm not here to shit talk. I just want to say that this is a good chance to plug your next conversation on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm going to have another conversation with communist brocholist on Wednesday.
Brocholist.
Champagne brocholist. I knew it started with a C. Holy fucking shit.
Buddhist.
God
Yeah.
damn. So fucking funny.
Listen, if you want, I'm here to officially extend my hand out and tell you that if you want to come over to the lib side and then just embrace it's a lot easier, I think. Like I've had these conversations with Sal before, but I think her problem with you is that like she wants you to embrace lib.
My problem is, while it might be easier to just like call myself a sock dem and just like hide my power level or something, I refuse to do that and allow them to take the label of socialist while they're just like saying, let's go around and let's kill every single fucking rich person. And this is exactly what Marx wanted. We have to find every brown person should put every white person on a pike or some shit like that. I don't know exactly what they want because they're like their ideology is largely incoherent outside of I want to like overthrow the fucking government. Outside of that, they really don't know what the fuck they want after that.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen what's it called, Judas and the Black Messiah?
No, I don't know
Fred
that.
Hampton movie? The Fred Hampton movie. It just came out and like the guy won like a best supporting actor Oscar for it and shit. I highly recommend it anyways.
Shit.
It's basically like the life of Fred Hampton. And I watched it this weekend and it was kind of similar vibe there where like you have a very charismatic person who's able to, you know, harness into frustrations of a group of people and does a very good job, very charismatic and stuff. But like it seems like that besides the community activism that he was doing, he was like giving kids like school lunches and whatever. Besides that, it was like just we need to like completely do a revolution. And that's I guess like some people's MO. Like it's intoxicating when you hear that kind of rhetoric from someone who's like very good at it.
Yeah, I mean, no,
It's
I
just
agree.
not my cup of tea.
But see, like, I probably would have fallen into that because I was really, really upset with the way that things in the U.S. were going, right? But like, the more I learned, the more I realized we can fucking do something to change the way that the world works. And these people just like don't care to learn a goddamn thing about the way that the world works, right? And how, like, you know, even if you
I think
don't,
it's just the fundamental disagreement. Like, I don't think that one side is necessarily right or wrong. Like, I think if people are down and out and they think that revolution is the only way, if they really think that there's no difference between Biden and Trump in terms of their material conditions, then like maybe that's just like a fundamental disagreement.
It's
like,
a very white and suburban way to think that my life has not significantly changed between Trump or Biden, or the like threat of like severe repercussions economically. It's a very white way to fucking think, and I hate that shit. All right, it's incredibly fucking privileged. Oh well, my life did not specifically get better. My life did not significantly get better. Like specifically, right? Oh, I hide my eyes from any kind of social program that might help people that are in poverty, right? Like I completely fucking hide I close my eyes. But like, yeah, what a fucking privileged position. I hate these fucking people. All right. Like I'm incredibly white, but they're like the whitest fucking people. They're like fucking Casper.
Listen, for someone who's just was called a fascist within the last 10 minutes, I'm just going to defend them a little bit and say, like, whatever. Like, sometimes I could see a situation, like you'll see in the Fred Hampton movie if you watch it, which, again, you should definitely watch it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll see that, like, there are people who are so down and out that really their material condition might not change, and for them it might seem like revolutionary rhetoric is the only way, or they've given up hope on electoralism altogether. And like I can sort of sympathize with that.
Yeah, I can too.
I want to try to be
100%.
understanding, like that's not how I view things, but maybe someone else views it that way.
See, and I can be 100% on board with that. I can be sympathetic to these people, and I can try to reach out to these people and organize with them and do whatever like needs to be done, right? But when it comes to people that are just like, well, do you even know what an international is? Do you even know what it says on page 3, paragraph 2 of State and Revolution? It's like, actually, you're white, didn't ask, don't care, please, don't, like, if you don't want to vote, don't vote, but don't talk on the internet about politics, because you're talking about things that are actively going to make people's material conditions worse.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's our view of it for sure. I think we both agree on that. Anyways, if you ever want to have like a celebratory coming out of the closet liberalism, neoliberalism party, sock them's rejoice. I'll throw a big party for you on stream one day. Okay.
All right. Gotcha. Thanks, man. I'll talk to you later.
I'll see you on Wednesday night for set round 2.
All right. Gotcha,
peace. Yo, wait, pull up that picture I screen capped. My headphones died in the middle and I was dying. It was like the perfect encapsulation of how you were feeling.
Let me see here. Here we are.
All right. Peace.
Peace, man. Yeah. Oh my fucking God. Okay, really quick, I'm going to jump into the Discord over here. We'll let... Hey, buddy, really quick, before we get into a conversation, give me like 2 seconds. I desperately need to get myself some water, all right? But you know what? If you and Bones or Myth want to jump into the call, look, there's Myth right there. If you guys want to talk for a second and not say any like mean words, that'd be great, all right?
Wait, sorry, clarifying question. Is the word stupid ableist now?
Yes,
it is.
You have to say silly, wacky, zany, or kooky.
Wild.
Those are the only words you can say. Wild, extraneous. I don't know. That might be marginalizing. I don't know.
All right, noted.
You don't say the S slur.
The S word.
Don't say cuss words, guys. It's inappropriate.
That was quite a conversation that we just witnessed. And I got mad in chat. Like
I caught one of the mods of that chat in 4K saying the S slur, and it was very, very strange. I have the screenshot, and they said the S word, and I find that kind of careless, honestly. I don't know. They said the S word, and
I think I need to spend like the next four weeks, like 12 hours a day, teaching Sondsol history. Like, I think I need to hijack Sonsol's stream. He needs to pull 12-hour fucking streams, and all I do is teach him history
this time.
Did he get anything wrong? He could have been more precise, but he missed many easy slam dunks. Like the idea that there are no evolutionary socialists is completely wrong. Like the